North America, I give it to Japan and Peru free.
Yeah, same.
But
Absolutely.
this tournament is demonstrating just how much our scene has grown over these last couple of years.
Yeah, outside of Boom and Isaiah, I would agree with you. Outside of Boom and Isaiah for North America, and consider America definitely considered the weakest part of North America. You look at other than Isaiah, you look at Mexico and Canada as having all these strong players. I mean, Canada's in full force, but now America with some solid showings here with Wizzrobe right now is looking really, really strong.
And it's only fitting that in such an old game, it is one of the more newer players to our scene who is doing such an amazing job, and right off the gate, a near 0 to death, perhaps. Yes,
this
a
is
perfect sequence.
Oh, but he makes it back. That down B kind of hesitation recovery, but Wizzrobe will still take the stock.
Almost made me eat my words. The slight imperfection there, but at least is able to clean things up. So far, a great start for Wizzy. Of course, in these Yoshi Dittos, we have to expect parries. We have to expect a double jump armor. And because they both main Yoshi, they are both fully aware of all the tricks of the dinosaur packs.
Yeah, absolutely. And we saw Wizzrobe using, and then Kurabba strikes back here. We saw Wizzrobe using that down B before a lot on Prince, and so looking to see that, and let's see if the Japanese can adapt, if Kurabba can adapt here and maybe incorporate some of that stuff into his game.
Well, he's doing a great job, at the very least, of the armor breaks, right? Throwing out the egg first, the armor takes most of it, and then the dash attack leaves them wide open. You can't really absorb anything afterwards.
Right. Oh, and that's good spacing from Kurabba to get over that down B. Wizzrobe maybe using it a little early. Ooh, a down air. Oh, and the Wizzrobe, as we call it.
Yeah, perhaps a bit premature, but the DI off of the platform allows him to act a bit quicker than he was hoping. Now just trying to get the pressure. There's that parry that we were touching on.
Yes.
Allowing him to counterattack immediately. Kurabba again. Wizzy, he's 2-0ing Prince, someone who, like we said, in Japan is ranked higher than Kurabba from the Yoshi tier list. Maybe a sign of what's to come. Granted, this is now the best-of-5 format rather than the best-of-3.
Exactly, so this will give players a chance to adapt more. But Wizzrobe is a very adaptive player, so, even if Kurabba's adaptive, that doesn't necessarily give him an advantage because Wizzrobe, as we know, is one of our most adaptive players here in America.
And I feel like the Japanese are so good at adapting mid-game, whereas most of these North American players are better at adapting mid-set. In Japan, I believe that the format there, a lot of the times when they do these tournaments, it's a best-of-1.
Exactly. Best-of-one game, single elimination, so you have to adapt mid-game.
We need to see the adaptations from Kurabba. Again, the highest placing Japanese player right now just got sent to the bottom of Dreamland. And this is looking like a slaughterhouse right now with Wizzrobe behind the buzzsaw.
And that's not really a heads-up play. While Wizzrobe's shielding on the platform, he's up-tilting, and you're pushing Wizzrobe off of the platform if you use a second up-tilt on his shield. Oh, and that's a good, that's a stock there with that up smash. So, I'm not really sure as a Yoshi player what you want to do when you're pressuring someone on the platform to push them back toward the stage. Like Kirby players will use a down air and move to the other side of the shield.
And so much of this game, the way it's flowing, it feels like the parries from Wizzrobe. What was ridiculous? Did he DJC through that?
He parried that. Yeah, he DJC parried that forward air and struck back, man. This kid's reaction time is insane.
Oh, absolutely ridiculous. And you need that level of reaction to play Yoshi. That's it.
That's it. No jump.
Again, just dismantling the double jump armor, and just the lightest touches is all he needs to close it out. One more time. Let's go ahead and see this replay. A beautiful, beautiful stock we're about to see. So
boom. And so one thing I think to mention about Wizzrobe is from Orlando or I know somewhere in Florida, and he's trained a lot with Sheer Madness, who I'll give credit as being the main, the original technical American Yoshi. I think he learned a lot from Saucy or these older Japanese videos and Isaiah's videos of Yoshi. But Sheer Madness was the first one in America who was doing these learning these technical shield breaks, and he's trained Wizzrobe to the point where Wizzrobe's now better because Sheer Madness is from Florida as well, and Wizzrobe now beats him in Yoshi Dittos. And Wizzrobe also gets a lot of experience, I'm sure, in Yoshi Dittos being able to play Sheer Madness. So maybe that's something the Japanese aren't as familiar with.
Yeah, and especially in this particular format, right? We have to remember that the Japanese play on different but wow!
Oh, another one!
Going for the double.
He had to. He was gonna. He had no jump after that.
Exactly. It's ridiculous, the back and forth here. But again, remember, these Japanese players playing on these American cartridges, there are these slight differences.
Very true.
They're playing they may have the experience in the Yoshi Ditto, but do they have it whenever we're talking about Yoshis on this specific version of the game?
Yeah, and I'm not familiar enough with the Yoshi differences in the American and Japanese versions. Obviously, we know, like most people know, there is a lot of differences between characters. There's some differences between characters, but the DI is very different. And ooh, he tries that weak nair. But it could be throwing them off. They do have a built-in John a little bit. They're not playing on their version.
That's true. Fair point. Might not be aware of just how much extra armor Wizzrobe is able to gain from this new version.
Yeah.
He's been using that armor. It really is, even though we've seen great offensive plays from Wizzrobe, it feels like it's his defense. The parries that he's been getting, the brilliant usage of these double jump cancels, everything is just flowing in Wizzrobe's favor from a defensive standpoint.
Yeah, and it was up until this sequence.
Exactly.
Kurabba's been looking really crisp with these parries.
But the back-to-back edge shield into the egg, that was so crisp. And that little interaction right there is so telling of 64. While there is that common stereotype, you can't use shield for reasons like this, on the ledge, like we saw in that last interaction, it's definitely possible. Beautiful reverse hit on the up smash, and Wizzrobe makes this dead even once again.
Man, yeah, we're right back into it, 3 apiece. Kurabba finally getting some breathing room and having a lead. See what this sequence he does. Oh, good DJ double jumps out of it. Wizzrobe's spacing is so good when they're under that platform on the edge there.
And just the dance beginning once again in neutral. Both players trying to vie for that control. Wizzrobe will break the zone with the dash attack, but again.
Both of these players are parrying each other so much. It's like, when do you really want to approach if you're going to just get parried every hit? Oh, wow. Wizzrobe wanted it, but he missed it. Will his stock end? Yes! Kurabba with a lead.
And a lot of that was because Wizzy misspaced himself when he did the Yoshi bomb. If he was closer towards the ledge, he would have been fine.
Yeah.
Cleans it up again. Wizzy is just answering back. We're seeing these commanding shouts, if you will, from Kurabba. And so far, Wizzrobe has had the right answers every single time.
Every time. I mean, Wizzrobe is still almost invincible. It's still in his invincibility, and he answers back and brings the game back. But now, with a lead, so that was such a quick stock for Kurabba.
Yeah, and unfortunately, maybe a misusage of some of the resources that Yoshi has.
Oh, and he doesn't DI out of that down air.
Eating up a lot of damage. Wizzrobe.
And Wizzrobe up 2-0.
The classic.
On Kurabba.
And I think Wizzrobe right now is really trying to cement himself as the best player in the world at this Yoshi Ditto.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, he has a track record so far, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's beaten some of the best, so. Man, 2-0. Yeah, he looks convincing here, and he looked very convincing in the last one as well. So we'll see if he can beat other characters as well. But he seems like he's able to dismantle almost any character with this Yoshi. I don't even know what the best counter would be. A really good, solid Kirby. We saw Court. I mean, we heard Court took out Taco's Yoshi.
And of course, Revan. Taking out Bono Bono.
Oh, Revan has been able to take out Wizzrobe lately, so.
Yeah. That matchup is not fun, but Kurabba seeming content with this Yoshi. He is getting better. I feel like the games are getting closer and closer. It was just a few mistakes from Kurabba that cost him at the end there. Oh, there again, just contesting. He knows that Wizzrobe is going to be going for the bomb, and he's able to find the right answers to it.
He puts that hitbox out perfectly to hit Wizzrobe during that down B.
Yeah, that's tough. Again, that option in particular is so trademark of Wizzrobe. Whenever you have a player taking away one of your trademark tools, at times you can't put other players on tilt.
Yeah, absolutely. And even after he's able to, avoid that down B, he's got to do. I mean, it's a really heads-up play to be. Oh my God! Look at these down air combos. Wow, Wizzrobe. There's a really heads-up play to be able to actually finish that stock off for Kurabba. But now he's down to stock. Another parry. Oh, Wizzrobe will opt for an edge. Wow. I thought he had a jump, but I guess not.
Yeah, maybe he was trying to double jump cancel out. Perhaps you make use of that double jump armor, but Wizzy is so good seeing between those, getting those extra hits in, and negating that double jump armor entirely.
Kurabba with a good job of avoiding Wizzrobe's DJC and brings it back. So he's down a stock here, and he's looked good in moments. He hasn't looked as consistent as Wizzrobe, but I wouldn't count him out of this yet. I think he definitely can do this and bring this to a game 4. Dance
again. Finally, we're seeing Kurabba with the opening and the shield break on top of it. He needs a giant punish here.
Oh, not a good punish.
Yeah, just misspacing the timing on the neutral air.
That was a great get-up attack. If you saw, Kurabba was trying to figure out how to follow up that tech, and he was right on top of Wizzrobe, so Wizzrobe just did the get-up attack. That's like, he's just so good at those little things like that, and most players can't make use of a down B out of neutral. But Wizzrobe just knows, gets himself out of these really tight situations.
Stack. Okay, there's Kurabba. He's trying to find some answers. Can he find the stock? Ooh, double jump armor in play.
Jab. Oh, wow, and he parries that. And that's the jump for Wizzrobe.
Kurabba.
Oh, wow.
I think it's so keen for him to be able to put on damage here. Oh. Almost got a little more than damage.
Yeah, that would have been insane. That would have brought us to one stock apiece. Smart down air, puts on a lot of damage there. Oh, and he goes for that parry on that.
And that was what we were talking about. Wizzrobe just shifting the timing slightly.
Oh, he's got no jump here. Wizzrobe's going to use it down B. The stock?
Yes.
Yup. And he knew Wizzrobe was going to do the down B. He knew that was Wizzrobe's only option had he... Oh. Kurabba with a chance here. If he can convert. Oh.
And Wizzy again, using just the armor, just all the tools.
Ooh. They're so close to each other with these GJCs, and that's it. No jump for Kurabba, and that's the set.
Wizzrobe, another Yoshi from Japan, swept to the losers bracket. Exceptional play.
Man. That was an intense Yoshi ditto. I'm not used to seeing Yoshi dittos like that. Those are really, really good. You can see them adapt so much on the fly. Like Wizzrobe's style of play is so reactive, and he's so good at getting himself out of trouble. And he doesn't use that down B recklessly. People used to say, oh, he uses it a little too recklessly. That's why we call it the Wizzrobe. But he's really good at knowing when it's his last resort. And Kurabba was, being hit by a lot of that last resort stuff from Wizzrobe, and learned at the end there. He saw it and he avoided it. And he capitalized, but it just was Wizzrobe was too much in the end on that last stock in that neutral game. Wizzrobe just won out.
Honestly, whenever I looked at that game, for me it was just an understanding of resources, right? So many times we'd see Kurabba off stage with no jump left, and he would just fall to his demise. And I don't think we ever really saw those situations as much from Wizzy. He did a great job of understanding when he needs to parry, when he needs to commit to the double jump to armor.
Right.
And not only on defense, but also on offense, he would be aware of the resources that the opponent had. We saw the slight timing changes in order to equate for things like parries from the opponent, which allowed Wizzrobe to have the extra openings, giving him the advantage throughout these sets.
Yeah, and I agree that we didn't see Wizzrobe in those positions off